Good morning. You're watching Much Ado About Something, and I'm Donna. Today we're in the kitchen. And today's project is, I have decided to participate in the project that Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead has going in the month of August. And the project is Every Bit Counts Challenge. And that's making use of every bit of your food that you have, because it helps in your food budget and it helps you to avoid waste at all accounts. Well, today what I'm going to put up is this chicken that I have here. This is a leftover chicken. We've had a couple of meals off of it. I'm going to take it off the bone today. I'm going to put it in this pot that I've got. I'm using onions that I've already chopped up and had in the freezer that I'm trying to work through before I put any more onions in. I want to use up all the onions that I have. So I'll be putting these onions in here in this soup pot. That'll be using some of my stuff that I've put up previously, some of the stuff that I have in my freezer. And I'm going to brown these onions, and today I'm going to make chicken noodle soup for our lunch and for our dinner. And what I'll do with this chicken is I'll go ahead and take this off the bone. Some people have problems with like chicken bones and stuff. I don't have any problems with the texture of chicken. So I just go right in here with my hands and I take all of this stuff off of the skin. I'm taking the skin and I take the meat off of this chicken, and I'm just going to take it off and put it on this plate. Now I use bone broth in most of my dishes, and I do make bone broth and can it, but I don't have time to can bone broth today. So what I'm going to do is take the chicken off of these bones, and I'm going to put them in my pot, and I'm going to add water to this, and I'm going to make my own bone broth today that I'll be straining later to use for my soup. There's quite a bit of chicken left on here, and so all of this chicken that I take off today, what I don't put into the pot to use as soup, I'll be putting in the freezer. I'm going to chop it up really small and put it in freezer bags and label it, and that'll be what I'll use in some future recipes, because this chicken's already cooked, and later on if I'm in a pinch, it'll be easy for me just to get out a pack of chicken and add it to one of my recipes. I might use this chicken that I've got here. I might use it for chicken pot pie, a casserole. Donald loves chicken Alfredo, so I may use it, to be the chicken that adds into a chicken Alfredo sauce. So whatever I take off of this will be used. We won't be throwing this away. We'll get the broth from the bones, and we'll be able to use all the chicken that's on, all the meat that's left on this chicken. Now this chicken looks red on the bone. I'm not sure why that is, because I know this chicken was cooked to the proper temperature, and I know that it was done. But I just think, I'm not sure why this bone looks pink here. And I'm just continuing to take as much chicken as I can get off of this little carcass. I'm taking that off. I'm going to go ahead and add water to my bones over here. And I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit and get that broth started. And then I'm going to take my poultry scissors and just go ahead and chop up that chicken into just little soup-like, or just small bites, small bits of chicken. Now you can chop this on a cutting board or however you need to cut it up. I find that these kitchen shears just make it easier for me. And I'm just chopping the chicken, you know, in small pieces like you might find in soup or in a casserole, or even later if you want to lay it out and make a chicken salad sandwich, you know, this would be perfectly good to do that. I'm going to chop it small so I can use it in my future recipes. Now that I've got my chicken chopped up, I'm just going to take these baggies. Now, usually I use reusable containers to freeze in, but today I am just going to use what I have. My little reusable containers are all in service, so this is what I have, so this is what I'm going to use today. And these are just sandwich baggies, and what I do with these is I just go ahead and put some of this chopped chicken in here. You can measure it out if you want to estimate about how much chicken you're putting in each container. I mean, maybe it's maybe a half a cup of chicken in each container. I can go ahead and measure that out, and I can also include that on the bag that's what I have in here, is a half a cup of chicken. Now, I know you're thinking, well, you can't freeze in these. They're not freezer baggies, but I'll show you what I do with that. Go ahead and put your chicken in. I've measured out about a half a cup per bag. I think that'll be what we have here. Roughly, you know, a rough half a cup, give or take a few little chopped pieces. I'll put them in the baggie. What I have left here, I'll just go ahead and add to my soup. And I'll take this little chopped chicken that I have here, just get as much air out of these bags as I can. So I've got my chopped chicken, half a cup, labeled here. I just roll it up. Here I have a cup and a half, three little bundles of chicken, and I take one big freezer bag, and I've got meat for soup, etc. And I'll just add this meat to this freezer bag. That way they'll be in individual compartments when I need to use them for whatever dish I'm going to use it in, and they'll be in a good freezer bag and they'll be protected. And I'll add to this during the week, or whenever I have any leftover meats, I'll put those in individual little containers, little baggies, label them and add them to this. And so whenever I'm going to make a soup or a stew or a casserole, or you know, a sandwich that needs cooked meat, whatever I use these for in the future, I'll just pull out this bag and go through it and get whatever it is I need for the dish that I'm going to make. And then I'm going to freeze this. I'll just put this in my freezer, and I'll try to add it to the top so that I'll be able to find it when I'm looking for it. I'll put it in a location that's easily accessible. Well, that's my contribution to the Every Bit Counts challenge today for the 1st of August. I'm going to go ahead and continue to make my soup. Thank you, Jessica, for inviting and opening, giving the opportunity to participate in your challenge. And I'm going to sign off of here and go ahead and make this soup. And like always, until next time.